Guys, so today I'm bringing you along on my journey for spearfishing. So this is what a session looks like. Right now it's around 2 p.m. Usually I go in the morning when it's really dark and it's really hard to record because it's dark, you can't see anything. But because today I'm gonna do an afternoon session, I figured it's good to document because so many of you guys have been asking for this. So the thing about spearfishing that I really like is that it combines so many of my favorite activities. It combines camping, because you have to pack so many things. Your gear, you gotta prepare it, and you've gotta be very sensitive as well with the weather. And it also involves physical activity because you gotta hold your breath and you gotta swim down to 15-20 meters, hold your breath, wait for the fish to come. So it really pushes your endurance in terms of fitness and breath hold. And unlike working out in the gym, when I'm spearfishing, it's also a combination of meditation because I gotta calm myself. If I'm forcing it and if my heartbeat is really beating very fast, I'm not gonna be able to stay long underwater. And if I can't stay long underwater, then I'm not gonna be able to stay long enough for the big fish to come to me for me to catch them. So this is the place where I enter. And guys, look at the beautiful beach. Look at that. This is my first time filming using a stick, but I figured it's about time so you guys can also enjoy the view and not just seeing a close-up of me talking. Yesterday I caught quite a lot of fishes, so I hope today is also going to be a good session because the last few months have actually been very bad visibility. But I think the time is changing now and it's starting to get good again. And see, I'm getting sunshine and also walking barefoot and gonna soon get direct contact with the seawater. Oh, sand's pretty hot. So I'm really excited to take you guys along on my journey today. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use the camera underwater because even though my iPhone is waterproof, I think salt water on the phone is not a good idea. And guys, I think I've said this before, but the reason why it's so healthy for you to be walking barefoot across multiple surfaces and uneven terrain is because your toes are supposed to function independently from each other. Your foot is not just one big blob, but unfortunately when you're wearing shoes, it's forced into one unit, so your toes lose their mobility and your body is connected. So whenever one part of your body is not being moved the way it's meant to be moved, it's going to cause problems and imbalances that's going to affect other joints as well. So right now we're just rock hopping. Usually when I go in the morning, the rocks are not so hot, but because it's midday, actually it's just right after midday, so the sun has baked these rocks into very hot, but they're still more than manageable. Guys, look at this. Look at that. Okay, I gotta make this jump. Can I make this? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Whew. Nice. See, I made this leap, guys. It's a pretty proud moment there. Hope I didn't drop anything. But I was saying, when I go spearfishing, it's usually my alone time. Guys, so here is where I'm gonna cast off. What do you mean by cast off? Because the water is pretty high today. So let me see. I think maybe here. Because it's really high tide right now. Usually I'll cast off somewhere there. I'm gonna show you guys what I have in my bag, okay? So here are mangosteen for me to be eating later. Here is my mask and my knives, and also my wetsuit and my buoy, which I gotta put some air in. And it has these two things, which are the fish stringers for later on, hopefully, when I catch fish. And then at the end of my buoy is this thing that we call an anchor, so that I could secure this in one spot later on. Now, this is the gun. So when I get to my spot, obviously, I've got to unload all my gear, spit on my mast. I gotta spit on it in the inside and let the spit dry for a few minutes. So while I'm getting the rest ready, here are my fins. They're really long, they're spearfishing, freediving fins. And my gloves and booties are here, which are like the socks. So what I'm gonna do is get ready to suit up and go fishing. So when I'm traveling, moving from, let's say, my house to my spots, I always keep my gun covered, including my extra spear, because spearfishing can be a tricky subject. Some people think it's cruel. I think it's the most ethical way to hunt and get your own food if it's fish. And I gotta remove this one, keep this somewhere. So this gun is waiting for action. And now I gotta but I gotta inflate the buoy. After I take off my clothes and put on the wetsuit, I'm gonna gear up and go hunting, and I'll see you back, I think 3 hours from now, hopefully when I catch fish. Guys, so I just finished my spearfishing session and I caught some fishes, and I'm gonna show you momentarily. So this is my desktop. This is where I put my gear while I make videos. And this is gonna be my snack, because after I go fishing, I need some fruits to replace the glycogen levels in my muscle and liver. But yeah, today the water was not so clear. That's why I only spent about 2 hours. In here we have barracuda. And here we have trevally. So before I scale them, I just wanted to show you an eagle. This eagle knows me because whenever I go spearfishing and I remove the guts, I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. Whenever I remove the guts, I'll throw the guts up in the air, and sometimes, I swear to God, sometimes he catches them because he eats them. I think some of you guys would be surprised to know that after spearfishing, I'm actually not thirsty. My body's craving carbs. So I rarely bring water. What I bring is fruit. And it's actually hard to scale the fish there. So let me position and go somewhere else. So there's a few reasons why we moved to this spot. One, it's out of the sun, because the sun is very bad for my gear, especially if there's rubber or plastic. Second reason is, I think it's better if you guys see how I prepare the fish, because if I do it underwater, you guys won't be able to see it. And third reason is, right now we're behind the rock, so if there are passing boats, you guys can still hear the audio clearly. And in case some of you guys are wondering what I'm eating mangosteen. You see this thing here? There's like 4 petals. It actually symbolizes what's gonna be inside. So if you open it, I mean, I just showed you it's 4, right? If you open it, see? There is also 4 pods. And these are known as the queen of fruits. So now that I'm done with the mangosteen, I'm gonna I'm gonna scale and gut the fishes. Now usually I don't wear the gloves when I'm doing this, unless it's barracuda, because barracuda, they have really sharp and pointy teeth. But I hurt my hand rock climbing a few days ago, so I need to protect it, because I've had an instance before where the slime from the fish actually infected the open wound. So hopefully this non-waterproof gloves is going to offer some kind of protection from the slime in the fishes. So this is how I do this. You make a slice in the abdomen area to remove all the guts. Sometimes if they have eggs, I'll keep a plastic bag and I'll bring home the eggs. But for this fish, it doesn't have eggs. These red gills you can also remove. So this is the trevally. I removed the guts. I don't need to scale a trevally because they don't really have scales that are worth removing. But with barracuda, the scales are definitely worth removing. So let's start with the big one. And it's usually a good idea to scale them first before you gut them. Because once you gut them, it's gonna be harder to remove the scales in the belly area, because the flesh is not intact anymore. So now that this fish is scaled, I'm gonna remove the guts now. So again, make a hole and I think I should have put a warning in this video that it's gonna get bloody, but I'm doing my best not to show it. Oops, in the camera. After I'm done gutting, let's see if we can find that eagle. Let's see if he's still around, because sometimes he just circles around and waits for me to give him some of the fish guts. So this is what I meant by the barracuda teeth being sharp. I just I cut myself with the barracuda teeth right now. So after I've scaled and gutted the fishes, I'm just gonna rinse them very quickly here, so that all the sand and pebbles are washed away. Okay. It's not as easy packing up when I'm also documenting and recording with the iPhone, but I hope it's worth it if at least one of you guys watch this video. So now that I'm packing up, I gotta remove these booties. These booties are important because they prevent your skin from being chafed, from being scratched with the constant friction with the fins. And this is just an extra booty that's even thinner that I wear, so I wear 2. And time to take this off. So there's actually many parts to spearfishing. There's many lists and there's many steps. So one of the things too after fishing is that I've got to find that cap that I use to cover the spear point. This one right here, see? So that I can put this at the end of my spear, so this doesn't poke anything or anyone on the journey home. So I always carry an extra spear when I'm fishing because sometimes the first spear could have problems. The flopper could get stuck. The spear tip could be blunted. The shaft could also be bent. And if it's a really good day for spearfishing, it's such a shame to cut the session short because of one spear, malfunctioning. Or sometimes it just takes too long to repair one spear, so it's just better to carry another spear, which you can switch underwater quite easily. But of course, there's that extra hassle that now you've got to always carry an extra spear, and it's risk and reward. I know some people who don't carry an extra shaft when they go fishing, but that's not really my style. And I forgot to wear my underwear, so I'll just put it in my pocket. And the buoy, of course, we have to deflate. If I can find do they call this a nipple? If I can find the nipple. Sometimes I joke with Dominic. Well, I joke with his mom. Just never mind. So the first things that go inside the bag is the fins, because the fins are really bulky, and if they're not properly oriented when you put them in first, you're not going to be able to orient them afterwards. Then comes the gun, which is also very bulky and long, and then comes the buoy, which you shove inside, and then comes the wetsuit, the bottom, and then the top. We're gonna put the snorkel and the mask and the knife for my leg, and then we're gonna close this thing. And the belt, I wear this because there's a weight behind it, which makes it unpractical to be putting inside the bag. Fish bag with the fishes. Come on. These IKEA bags are amazing. Oh, fucking hell. Just cut myself again with the barracuda teeth. Alright. We are good to go. See, the barracuda teeth are so sharp. Can you see? But not complaining. This is still the best sport in the whole wide world. So now begins the journey. The journey back home with the fish bag in one hand and the selfie stick on the other hand. Barefoot over the rocks. One last view, guys, before we go. Look at this beautiful view. It's around 5 p.m. I'm just cutting it short because the water is really not good. But this view, look at that. Oh man, so beautiful. I think this time around, I'm not gonna make this leap. Or maybe I am. Let's see if we can make this leap. Alright, we did that. Few more 100 steps to go. Another reason why I love spearfishing so much is because it forces me not to be glued to my phone with technology it forces me back into the animal body, you know, being connected with the natural elements, and of course the element of hunting as well, which I think is a very primitive urge that all humans, especially men, I think, have. And I think a lot of the malaise that we face today as a society, especially regarding men feeling lost, feeling depressed, I think a lot of it has to do because they're not connected anymore with their primal nature. So I hope you enjoyed this journey with me today. When I get home, I'm gonna give some of the fishes away to some friends, and I'll keep one and fillet it, and I think I'm gonna have it for dinner tonight. I'll probably have the barracuda fried in butter. If you haven't already subscribed to this video, please like and comment if you can, and I'm very excited to be making more videos in the near future.